Hello，大家好，欢迎大家来到读书时间。我们今天继续读《Soft Hearts: A Rett Swinson Mystery》这本书。好，我们现在开始。I'd always wanted to plant and tend a flower garden myself. Regularly, frequently behaving in a particular way or have a certain characteristic care for looking after. But I never knew how. In the days after the memorial service, Lydia began pointing out the plants in her backyard. Hellebore, a poisonous flower, winter flowering. Grape, Heinrich green and gold. Grape, hyacinths, bulbous plant of the lily family. Another term for jacinths. Green and gold and anemones. Anemone, a plant of the buttercup family, short for sea anemone. Plus a plethora of snapdragons she'd planted recently. Plus a plethora of snapdragon she'd planted recently. Though most of her yard looked carefully laid out, Lydia insisted on keeping one corner of the yard completely chaotic. Wildflowers lived there, even a number of plants that some might consider weeds. A pretty Saturday afternoon such as this normal would have been an occasion to break out a bottle of wine. This Saturday, I broke out something different, a dusty, clunky wooden easel, still functional enough after 2 decades of storage to balance a 12-inch by 12-inch canvas. If I was going to stop drinking for good, if I was going to allow myself to experience the full force of feelings again, I was going to have to find a new way to weather my emotional storms. Painting, I suspected, was the way I'd get through. I figured I'd plant those standout snapdragons in their bright orange glory, but the edge of my eye kept being drawn to the more subtle beauty of the wild plot, so I relocated the easel there. As the breeze blew, I tried to recapture my old form, a hand that used to trace the strokes in my mind's eye. I was all elbows, revealing myself to be a beginner again. I immediately thought about giving up. Instead, I decided to laugh at the rough marks on my canvas, call it a clumsy walk through a spider web. My own brush with endeavor. endeavor, try hard to do or achieve something. It worked. Before long, I became lost in the painting zone, an intoxicating space I hadn't expected to visit again. Intoxicating. At some point, I noticed Lydia standing off to my right, just taking a break from her own work to breathe in the afternoon air. I was about to say something about the loveliness of the day when something buzzed near my ear. I yelped. Utter a yelp. A short, sharp cry, especially of pain or alarm. Utter a yelp. I held back and put my brush out like a sword, but it was no bee. It was a hummingbird. Several houses down, a great commotion was stirring. I was too preoccupied at first to figure out where the shouts were coming from, for I was fully focused on the creature in front of me. The bird spurned the snapdragons and was now indulging its little beak in one blue wildflower after another. My brain at last caught up to the moment, and I finally recognized the cheering as coming from Sheila and Maxine, who were striking their back porch gong over and over again in celebration. That's cheering from their back porch. Back porch. It's Lydia sputtered. Make a series of soft, explosive spitting sounds. Deposit metal on the surface by using fast ions to eject the particles of it from a target. She still got stuck on the word occasionally. My eyes, clearest they'd been in years, apprehended the image of the warring creature better than Polaroids. This tiny bird would become the central figure of my painting. Was insisting on it. You're right, Lydia, I said. It's Wanda. Just look at her fly. Acknowledgements. Since writerly thanks go out to the following: the scrap exchange in Durham, NC, a non-profit with a mission like few others. This art center values the reuse of materials we normally throw away and provided the inspiration for needless necessities. The folk the folk artists of Alabama, including Noni Honey and Charlie Lucas, who shared their time with me in the mid 1990s, and whose art never ceases to amaze me. Also, the Greg Museum of NC State University for hosting an exhibition of Tilden Stone, inspired cover of whimsical furniture, not like Wanda Hightower's dragon mantle. Whimsical, playfully quaint. Acting or behaving in a capricious manner. Capricious manner. Capricious manner. Poet and Professor Claire Brandt, who introduced me to the Romantics 3 decades ago and who I'm honored to consider a close friend to this day, in addition to sightlines, webs, enough and making ready. Moral, her amazing lyrics can be found in her collections. Entering sleep mode, accidentals in the main dark